Hello guys, welcome back to another video. We're going to be breaking down UFC Blaydes vs Aspinall in London, England. Very early card again, 2 weeks in a row. Let's get started on the first fight of the night. In the welterweight division, we have Nicolas Dalby versus Claudio Silva. In this fight, we have Nicolas Dalby beating Daniel Rodriguez. The highlight of his it was a pretty good win for him, and then he lost to Tim Means, which is very interesting. He's 37 years old, not much to get out of it. He has solid stand-up. Pretty much fought quite a bit of people in the UFC. Came here, 3 years ago. Claudio Silva, almost 40 years old. Last two fights were losses to Court McGee and James Krause. I mean, he has some solid wins in there against Leon Edwards and everything, but he's just getting way a little older. And I don't think he's going to be able to last on the feet with Nicolas Dalby, just by youth and like recent wins. I think Nicolas Dalby has got this. If he doesn't, it's going to be very embarrassing. But yes, I'm going Nicolas Dalby for this fight. Let's see. Okay, the check mark is still here. We're going Nicolas Dalby. In the next fight in the women's flyweight division, we have, I have all my notes messed up. Mandy Bohm versus Victoria Leonardo. In this fight, this isn't very much like a high level fight. This will probably be like, I don't want to say pee break, but you know, if you got something to do, do it during this fight. Leonardo is open on the feet. Bohm has better stand up and will probably win within that way, because Leonardo tends to pressure in and open up her face a lot when she swings. She swings pretty hard, but like, she's very open when she swings. I can see her getting knocked down and TKO'd. But either way, I'm going to go with Mandy Bohm here. Safest pick, in my opinion. I think we're just going to move on. So yeah, Mandy Bohm. I got her winning this fight. Let's move on to the next fight on the card. We have Jai Herbert versus Kyle Nelson in the lightweight division. For this fight, noticeably, I would have probably taken Kyle Nelson if it weren't for these couple things. Jai Herbert does have a 6-inch reach advantage in this fight, and yeah, his really good stand-up has probably better stand-up because of that reason. He'll probably use his jab and be able to touch Kyle Nelson a lot better than he would be if he didn't have those 6 inches of reach. That's better competition. Has lost to better competition. He does have the length and power and the quickness to his game that will help him in this, especially with the 6-inch reach advantage. That will overpower Kyle Nelson in this case. If he didn't have the 6 inches, I would be more in favor kind of to Kyle Nelson. I don't believe in Danny Roberts' chin at all. I mean, he did lose to Ilya Topuria, but he's like a great, like really good prospect and has some pretty good power. But his chin is a little iffy for Danny Roberts. So, but he does have the 6 inches. I don't think he's gonna get touched too much. I think he'll take out Kyle Roberts, and he will get the win in this fight. And yeah, let's move on to the fourth fight of the card. It's going to be Muhammad Mokaev versus Charles Johnson in the flyweight division, the men's flyweight division. A lot of heavy favorites on this card, and this fight definitely shows it. Minus 490 for Mokaev and plus 370 for Charles Johnson. I'm going to go Muhammad Mokaev in this fight. Mokaev looked really great in his last fight against Cody Durden. He basically ran up and kneed him in the face and then wrestled him and took him out immediately. I don't remember what he took him out with. A guillotine choke. Where am I on those? Drop Durden with a knee committing. I'm unsure about how good Johnson's takedown defense is. But yeah, I think Mokaev will probably finish the fight or submit him. Mokaev is only, 21 years old, 22 years old, and already took out someone like Cody Jordan. Very talented prospect. Is very good. Actually has some personality too. Very interesting. In the United Kingdom. But yeah, I'm going with Muhammad Mokaev. Let's move on to the next fight up the card. Makwan, Amirkhani versus Jonathan Pearce. Let's see. For this fight, let me go to the stats real quick. Yeah, so for this fight, these guys both have good grappling. I think Pearce has a stronger and more dominant grappling than Amirkhani, and that's what's basically going to edge it more in this fight. To me, he definitely has overpowering, can probably move a lot of guys around. The striking isn't very much there for him, but I am a little worried about Amirkhani's chin. Lerone Murphy knee knockout immediately. But yeah, his chin seems very iffy to me in general. But yeah, I'm definitely going Pearce here. He definitely has more dominant grappling. And yeah, I think he'll just overpower him, punch him around. Maybe, I don't know about TKO, but maybe a TKO finish. Yeah, that's all I have for this fight. Let's move on up the card to Nathaniel Wood versus Charles Rosa. So for this fight, Nathaniel Wood versus Charles Rosa in the featherweight division. So for this fight, I was looking at like this. Wood is better on the feet and has a good solid power. Did good against his loss against Casey Kenny. I thought he may have won that fight. But yeah, it's still a loss. But Wood is better on the feet and has good leg kicks and has good takedown defense. I'm going to go with Nathaniel Wood in this fight. Charles Rosa seems more like a gatekeeper to the division recently. Let's see whose losses have been. Damon Jackson, TJ Brown, Derek Minner, Bryce Mitchell, Shane Burgos, Yair Rodriguez, Dennis Seaver. Now, of course, he's got some wins in there too, but yeah. If I fully expect Nathaniel Wood getting by him, he's 20 years old. Charles Rosa is almost 36 years old. Yeah, definitely expect Nathaniel Wood to pull this one out. I don't think I have any much to say. Yeah, Charles Rosa hasn't been the same. Not hasn't been the same, but isn't as much effective as he used to be. But let's move on up the card to what do we got? Marc Diakiese versus Damir Hadzovic in the lightweight division. Yeah, okay, that's a good one real quick. But yeah, in this fight, Hadzovic is like a really awkward fighter. I noticed he does land some good shots, but he does move around like really weird. I don't know if it's like the way he's like formed or something, like his back or whatever. But yeah, he is a very weird he does have a very weird fighting style. He does lean forward because of it. When he does move forward, it leaves his chin kind of open. Has a very awkward defense when he fights, like leans back, but his chin's still like forward. And but he's a good grappler, and Marc is a good grappler. Hadzovic's an alright grappler, but Marc is a good grappler and will destroy pretty much. Take apart Hadzovic on the ground. Moicano took Hadzovic down pretty easily, and I fully expect Marc Diakiese to take Hadzovic down also. Let's see, Diakiese will have a 3-inch reach advantage and is the minus 305 favorite. Like I said, very heavy favorites in this card. Yeah, 29 years old compared to 36 years old. I'm going to take the younger guy here. with the better wrestling and the reach advantage. All right, up the card we have Ludovit Klein versus Mason Jones in the lightweight division. So for this fight, when I was watching some of their tape, Ludovit Klein likes to stay steady and pick and choose his shots. Doesn't throw too much in general. Jones likes to lead the charge quite a bit, so this will be an issue for Ludovit Klein. The fact that he doesn't throw that much either. He likes to diagnose the situation, try to pick and choose his shots. Definitely has some power in it, but Jones will lead the charge, can throw good punches, and can wrestle. And he also beat David Onama, which is a really good prospect in his own right. David Onama is very, very good. And Mason Jones beat the crap out of on a decision against undefeated David Onama at the time. I definitely have I think this is Mason Jones. Mason Jones winning the fight. He's 27 years old. Both of these guys are 27 years old, but I like Mason Jones a little bit better than Ludovit Klein in this fight. Hence why he's a minus 330 favorite. But moving on, we have up the card. We have Paul Craig versus Volkan Oezdemir. If I said that right. For this fight, I'm going to be picking Paul Craig. Craig took down Ankalaev in this fight and has a good jiu-jitsu. Of course, he got flipped over, which is like a little iffy, but then submitted Ankalaev and submitted Hill and then submitted Nikita Krylov, all with triangles recently. When I was watching his fight, like, I don't even think he's trying to like take him down. I feel like he's trying to like fake take him down and lay on his back or something just so he can get that submission in. Because all three of those fights, it didn't feel like he was actually. I guess the Nikita Krylov fight, Nikita Krylov was actively coming after him and trying to take him down. In the other fights, he kind of got flipped over on his back. Paul Craig tried to take down Jamal Hill and went down on his back and then submitted him from there. Broke his arm. It's kind of gruesome. Kind of gross. Not really gruesome, but gross. Oezdemir has solid stand-up. Might beat Paul Craig in those exchanges. But I can see Paul Craig outstrike him and then maybe submitting him on the ground. But yeah, I'm taking Paul Craig in the fight. Moving on to the next fight on the card. That's in the light heavyweight division. Next fight on the main card is Molly McCann versus Hannah Goldy. For this fight, I'm taking the minus 400 favorite, Molly McCann in this fight. I don't have much to say on this fight. I just think she'll dominate her in every single facet of the fight. Molly McCann's pretty tough. She won against, what's her name? It was spinning back elbow knockout, which was pretty crazy. Against Luana Carolina. Knocked her out. I think Molly McCann won't struggle versus Hannah Goldy at all. I don't think Hannah Goldy even has any decent wins on the record. Molly McCann is a lot more talented fighter than she is. That's all I got. Moving on, that was in the women's flyweight division. Let's move on. Up the card, we have Nikita Krylov versus Alexander Gustafsson. So for this fight, Krylov does have some good wrestling. Took down Paul Craig. Obviously got caught in the submission, a stupid submission too. He like kind of gave his arm and his neck out just for him. And can control Gustafsson on the ground. I wouldn't be surprised if he did that. Gustafsson is coming off of a 2-year layoff from the heavyweight division, I believe, when he fought Fabricio Verdum and got choked out in an armbar, and then lost to Anthony Smith, and then lost to John Jones. So he's on a 3-fight losing streak. Nikita Krylov is on a 2-fight winning streak or losing streak. But against, I think, I guess these are all pretty good fighters, but yeah, I don't know. But Krylov is not too talented on the feet, but Gustafsson definitely is. This is a matter of if Gustafsson keeps it on the feet, I think he'll win those exchanges. If he gets taken to the ground, which probably will happen, I think Krylov will win the fight. I can definitely see this going to a decision. But yeah, the inactivity for Gustafsson is going to hurt him here. He's 35 years old, 35 and a half years old. Krylov is 30. So more in his prime versus not much in his prime anymore. But yeah, minus 190 favorite and plus 160 underdog. So we'll see. But yeah, I'm definitely taking Nikita Krylov in this fight. Moving on up the card, we have Paddy Pimblett versus Jordan Leavitt in the lightweight division. This fight is very interesting. They've been feeding for a while now, saying some really sus stuff. But we'll go over it. I think this will definitely be like your familiar Paddy Pimblett versus whoever match, like we have seen in the past two, where he opens it up and then gets freaking where it looks like he's about to lose the fight. He gets wobbled pretty badly. I think we'll see that at some point. I think Jordan Leavitt will try to go for a takedown. I think Paddy will probably stuff it, and then I think Paddy will connect on Jordan Leavitt. I think it will hop on Jordan Leavitt. I don't think Paddy will be able to finish it there. So I think they'll end up probably getting up, or Leavitt will probably go for a submission. I know Paddy does have some underrated grappling and jiu-jitsu. So, I mean, he could finish him there, but I think Jordan Leavitt will probably be able to defend it good because he's a good grappler in his own right. Yeah, I think they'll end up getting up. Leavitt will end up getting up, and I think Paddy will probably finish the fight standing up. I think he'll knock him down, probably TKO, and finish him off there. Will he teabag him? I don't know. I don't think UFC would allow that, but we'll see. Either way, we're either going to get someone twerking or someone teabagging on the person who loses, quite literally or not. But yeah, that's what I have for the fight. I think Paddy Pimblett will win the fight. He is a minus 260 favorite, and Jordan Leavitt's a plus 210 underdog. If you wanted to bet on it, go ahead. They're both 27 years old, and Paddy has a 2-inch reach advantage. So yeah, majority of people are taking Pimblett in this fight too. But moving on up the card, we have Jack Hermansson versus Chris Curtis. Chris Curtis is filling in for Darren Till. Yeah, I'm picking Chris Curtis for this fight. This is in the middleweight division. Chris Curtis has won all his fights in the UFC, I believe. And Hermansson's coming off a loss versus Sean Strickland, who Chris Curtis trains with. Chris Curtis just came off a win of Rodolfo Vieira, who like a week and a half ago is what it says. I think I covered that fight. Yeah, I did. But yeah, he did Chris Curtis did a really good job stopping the takedowns from Rodolfo Vieira. And Hermansson is very one-dimensional in this fight. I mean, he has solid striking, but I mean, he's mostly a grappler. Chris Curtis will be able to stuff the grappling. Yeah, he will try to grapple it. Chris Curtis will stuff it, and he'll have the edge on the feet. Chris Curtis will probably do the same thing as Rodolfo, like he did Rodolfo Vieira. Maybe bring it to decision. Probably bring it to the decision. But yeah, he'll outstrike Hermansson for a win. He'll stuff the takedowns like he did. Plain and simple. Sean Strickland will not be in his corner in this fight. So who knows, maybe there's some like superstitious, supernatural shit going on, and because Sean Strickland's not in the corner, he loses. I don't know. It's Darren Till, I believe, in Chris Curtis's corner, so we'll see. I fully expect Chris Curtis to win, though. Moving on to our main event of the evening, we have Curtis Blaydes versus Tom Aspinall. For this fight, I will just go over the people. Curtis Blaydes. There you go. Has 2 recent wins over Chris Diakiese from TKO KO, which is pretty good on his own right, and then a unanimous decision win against Zerzina Rosenstrike. And then Tom Aspinall is coming off a win against a submission win against that Volkov, which is really, really good. I think he ended it pretty quickly too. Sergey Spivak by TKO KO, and then Andrei Arlovsky by submission, early submission too, I believe. But yeah, Curtis is a very solid wrestler, and has a KO victory. Tom Aspinall seems more like a more all-around fighter than Curtis Blaydes is. Definitely profound in a lot more of his movements and abilities than a lot of heavyweights, which is good for him. He looks like he actually fits for the division. He's a little slimmer than a lot of the guys in the division. But yeah. I think Aspinall will probably touch up Blaydes on the feet. I think maybe he might be in some danger here, but I think also that I can see Aspinall taking Blaydes down actually and controlling him there, beating him up there, maybe TKO victory. This could go 5 rounds. I don't know if it could because it is heavyweight, but it could go 5 rounds. I don't know how likely it will be. We'll take him down, submit him, or TKO. But I do think Aspinall is better in a couple spots that will control the fight. Just on the feet, I think he's a little bit better, and on the ground, I can see him winning against Curtis Blaydes. But yeah, tell me what you guys think in the comments below. Yeah, I think I'll have a video out the next day because I did put this one out on Tuesday, a little later than normal. So yeah, see you guys next time. I hope you guys enjoyed the card this weekend because I know I will. Some solid fights on there. Annoyingly so, there's not many good underdogs on this card. Very high underdog favorite things, like you got a couple minus 300 plus favorites on this card, like a lot of them actually, not just a little bit, a lot. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. See you next.